Hi, this is Munson with Munson Music, and we're going to talk about how you could play a song called Johnny Be Good by Chuck Berry. And we're going to start with just some easy ways and then talk about the more complex licks later on. But the way what we're going to start on is on an A major. And the way you play A major, first finger is going to go to the D string on the second fret. Second finger is going to go to the G string on the second fret. The third finger is going to go to the B string on the second fret. And if you strum all those together, that sounds an A major chord and it sounds really, really happy. And when we hit our verse, actually, we're going to have our A major 4 times. And then from the A major, we're going to go to a D major chord. And the way you play D major, first finger is going to go to the G on the second fret. Second finger on the high, you're the skinny on the second fret. And third finger is going to go to the B string on the third fret. And if you strum just the D, G, B, and E, kind of the skinny 4 strings, that'll get you a clear sound out of that. That's called D major. And then from the D major, we're going to go back to A major. And we do another A major. And then we're going to go to an E major chord. You play E major, first finger is going to go to the G string on the first fret. Second finger is going to go to the A string on the second fret, and third finger is going to go to the D string on the second fret. And if you strum all those together, that sounds an E major chord. It sounds really, really happy. And then from the E major chord, we're going to be going back to the A major chord, and then another A major. So that's our basic form, and that's something called 12-bar blues form. So from the beginning, we got A major, A major, A major, A major, D major, D major, A major, A major, E major, E major, A major, A major. But a lot of times with a song like this, to make it more interesting, I like adding something called a strum pattern. One of my favorite strum patterns for a 4/4 like this is down, down, up, up, down, up. So we took the A and just tried that. We'd have down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up. That through our form, we'd have A down, up, down, A down, down, up, down, A down, down, up, down, A down, down, up, down, D down, down, up, down, D down, down, up, down, A down, down, up, down, A down, down, up, down, B down, down, up, down, B down, down, up, down, A down, down, up, down, A down, down, up. Basically like the form all the way through. The weird thing is on the solo part, actually there's some hits where some of the solo licks come in, and we'll talk about some of those in a minute. But on the solo part, we do kind of a big A with a down, and then we kind of kill the strings, and then we do the E major the same way, and then we go back to the A major again, and then we kind of wait for a second, and then we pick it back up on the D with the down, down, up, down, D, down, down, up, down, A, down, down, up, down, A, down, down, up, down, B, down, down, up, down, B, down, down, up, down, A, down, down, up, down, A, down, 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 up. Now a lot of times with this song though, I like using some things I call blues licks. And actually, probably the easiest one to explain is something I call the E lick. And what the E lick is where you take the first finger and go to the A string on the second fret, and then you take your right hand and kind of do a down up over just the E and the A strings. And then we're going to take the third finger, go to 4th fret on the A string, and then kind of do the same thing with the right hand and do a strum over the E and the A. So you're kind of going to down up with first finger, down up with third finger, but you're working from 2nd fret to 4th fret on the A string. And that's something I call the E lick. And actually 2 of those licks would actually take the place of one of our E chords. We'd have 1, 2, 3, 4, would kind of be our down, down, up, down, up. And then if we took the first finger and kind of moved them to the D string and kind of did our strum on the A and D strings, we could actually do exactly that same lick, and I call it the A lick. So kind of an A blues lick, 1, 1, 3, 3. And then from there, if you go to the G string on the 2nd fret, you could actually do the same lick from the D string to the G string, and I call that the D lick. So the slight confusion is the name of the lick is coming from the open string, not the finger you're moving on. So the E lick, you're on the A string with the 1st fret, or first finger, 3rd finger on the 2nd fret and 4th fret. And then for the A lick, you're on the D string, working the A and D strings. And then for the G lick, or D lick, you're working on the G string with the first finger, and then 3rd finger. So one way to also play through the tune would be substituting those licks for the chords. So you kind of be doing an A lick, and more A, and more A, and more A, actually kind of sounds almost like Chuck Berry maybe doing all downs on all those, and it almost sounds like he's muting it, like taking a little bit of the right hand and kind of muting out a little bit of the strings that way. So, but you can kind of think that same thing with the muting. A licks D, D, A, might be something else that you want to kind of add in. But one of the most attractive parts of this recording actually is that intro lick. And the way you can play that intro lick, if we're kind of working in this key, and we'll talk about where Chuck Berry actually is in a moment. But we start on the 5th fret on the G string and do a hammer on the 6th fret. And then we got 5th fret on the B string, and then 7th fret on the B string. And then there's this cool little slide where you take the first finger and kind of go on the high E and the B string together, and then kind of play both of those notes at the same time and kind of slide them into 5th fret. So we got kind of 4th fret, slide to 5. And then we kind of play some more 5s. 4, 5, slide 5, 5, 4, 5, 5, 4, 5, 5, 4, 5, 5. So we got 5, 6, 5, 7, 4, 5, 5, 4, 5, 5, 4, 5, 5. And then we kind of have a tag to that where we go 8th fret on the B, and then 7th on the B, and then 5th on the B. And then we go back to that hammer on the G string where we did 5 to 6 as a hammer on, and then you go to 7 on the D. So you got 4, 5, 5, 4, 5, 5, 4, 5, 5, 8, 7, 5, 5, 6, 7. And then we kind of play 7 a whole bunch. 7, 7, 7, 7, 7, 7, 7, 7, 7 at the end of that lick. And then we go back to 6th on the G, and then 5th on the B, and then 7 on the B, and then 5th on the B, and then we do that 5th to 6th hammer on again on the G string, and then we go 7 on the D, and then 5th on the D. So the tag of that, you got 6, 5, 7, 5, 5, 6, 6, 7, 5. And then from there we go into a crazy bend lick where you'd be taking 8th fret on the G string and doing a bend on that note and then playing 5th fret on the B string. And it's almost something called a unison bend where you're bending the G string, D sharp into the E note that's on the B string. And that happens a whole bunch through that intro solo. And then when we come out of that, we got the 8th fret bend on the G, but then we go high E on the 5, and then B string 8, 7, 5. But then we go high E7, and then 5th on the high E, and then we go B string 8, 7, 5, and then we go 7 on the G, and then we go back to that 5, 6 hammer on, and then B string 5, and then high E5, and then 8, 7, 5 on the B, and then we go back to that 8th fret bend on the G string into the B string 5, and then kind of end 7 on the G, and then end with that 5, 6 hammer on, and then we go to 7 on the D string, and we kind of play that a bunch at the end. So that tag, actually, let's take it from the bend. So you got the 8 bend 5, 8 bend 5, 8 5 bend 5, 8 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 bend 5, 5, 8, 7, 5, 7, 5, 8, 7, 5, 7, 5, 6, 5, 5, 8, 7, 5, 8 bend 5, 7, 5, 6, 7, 7, 7, 7, 7, 7, 7. So that might be a cool way to kind of kick it off. So all the way through you got. So that might be kind of a cool thing to kind of add in. Now one other weird thing though, and then there's some other licks that kind of come in over the chorus part, and that those licks kind of start 3rd on the high E and 5th on the B string, and we kind of do that 4 times, and then we go 5s on the high and E and B together. So we got 3, 5, 5s together, 3, 5, 5s together, 3, 5, 5s together, and then the last time it almost sounds like you're going 3rd on the B with the high E on the 5. And then there's some other incidental licks where it almost sounds like you're doing 3rd fret bend on the B string. In a similar way we were doing that 8th fret bend. But one other weird thing actually is to play along with the recording. Instead of starting on an A major, Chuck Berry's actually starting on a B flat major. I don't know if he tuned his guitar high or if he actually did this with a capo. I'm assuming they tuned the guitar high. But what you want to do to play along with the recording is kind of take a capo, and then if you put the capo on first fret, then now your A major is really a B flat major, your D major is really an E flat major, and your E major is really an F major. So we kind of tried it through all the different ways that we talked about. Well, we could even kick it off with that lick. The weird thing about the intro lick now is you have to add one fret to everything we were just playing. So if you want to play along with the recording this way and not tune your guitar high, which is another possibility, you kind of start from 6 to 7 is a hammer on. So our 6th fret is actually like our 5th fret. But you could really kind of add one fret to all those licks, all those notes we were just talking about. So you got 5, 7, 4, 5, 5, 4, 5, 5, 4, 5, 5, 8, 7, 5, 5, 6, 7, 7, 7, 7, 7, 7, 7, 7, 7, but I'm really on 8. And then 6, 5, 6, 5, 6, 5, 6, 7, 5. And then the 8th fret bend is really 9th fret, so you got 9th fret bend to 6 on the B. But you're thinking 8 to 5. High 5, 8, 7, 5, 7, 5, 8, 7, 5, 7, 5, 6, 5, 5, 8, 7, 5, 8, bend 5, 5, 7, 5, 6, 7, 7, 7, 7, 7, 7, 7, 7. And then our incidental licks actually that come in later on, where we got the 3, 5 will actually be on, really be on 4 and 6. So. Kind of got that 3rd fret bend on the B. So those would be kind of some cool licks to kind of intro it or work through the tune. And then we could do our verses with just the down, down, up, down, up. We got the A, down, up, down, up, A, down, down, up, down, up, A, down, down, up, down, up, A, down, down, up, down, up. Or you could try with the blues licks where we got the A lick, A lick. With that muted quality to that, where you have the so that would be another possibility. And kind of work through the tune too. And then there are a lot of really other cool licks that Chuck Berry's working, and actually a lot of them are working around something you would normally call an A minor pentatonic scale. And actually if we took the capo back off for just a second, the A minor pentatonic scale is like if you started on an A note on the low E string on the 5th fret, and then you go to 8th fret on the low E, and then you got 5 on the A string, 7 on the A string, and then 5 on the D string, 7 on the D string, 5 on the G string, 7 on the G string, and then 5 to 8 on the B string, and then 5 to 8 on the high E. And what we're playing there is kind of an A and a C and a D and a E and a G note, and then playing more of those. So then we got A and C and D and E and G and A and B, or in C. So a lot of those notes actually are where those licks are coming from that Chuck Berry is working with, is from the A minor pentatonic scale. So that might be something you want to kind of play around with hammer-ons or bends or any of the licks we were talking about in the intro lick. That could be a cool jam scale. And if you're doing it with the capo, and I guess I don't really have to do this, but what you would do is kind of move that over one fret to make it a B flat minor pentatonic scale. And now you'd be playing B flats and D flats, E flats and Fs, and then A flats and B flats. So, but that's the basics of how you can play through Johnny Be Good by Chuck Berry. So good luck!